Hi guys, and welcome to yet another exciting and delicious episode with Kitchen Secrets on India Food Network. My name is Maithily and I'm going to be your host for today. But before we begin, let me tell you something very briefly about myself. I'm a practicing architect and pretty good at that, if I may say so. But cooking has always been a passion with me, and I really discovered this undying love for cooking when I was seconded to New York for my work. That's when I really started, keenly observing things, and it developed into an undying love. So today we are going to do a very interesting recipe which all my New York friends absolutely love. These are the very yummy Indian corn samosas. Now this recipe is especially very close to my heart because it was given to me by my mom, and we tried it for the very first time in our very small kitchen in New York. This is a very versatile recipe and it's absolutely loved by all my guests at very elegant evenings and your parties. You can make them as your appetizer, hors d'oeuvres, the works. But mainly I would suggest that you could make this as a side dish for a very festive and traditional meals. So let's get straight to the ingredients here. Here I have one very small onion which has been finely chopped. I have 1 cob of corn which I steamed in the microwave for about 5 to 6 minutes. Now the reason I do this, I put the whole corn in the microwave because when it steams it doesn't dry out the kernel and they come very moist and sweet. So that's the corn. Then here we have 2 tablespoons of fresh coconut. Then here we have 1 tablespoon of finely chopped coriander, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, a wedge of lemon, 1 green chili finely chopped, and maybe half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil, about 1 tablespoon of water to make the all-purpose flour paste. And here we have the very important samosa patties. Now you can get this in the market, absolutely in your local grocery store, so you don't have to really worry about them. So let's get started over here. So I'm going to heat my saute pan for about 1 or 2 minutes on medium heat. Okay, so let's put in about half a tablespoon of oil, just eyeball it. Okay, so when that heats through, I'm going to drop in all my chopped onion in this. Now I'm going to add the chopped green chilies and just a few cumin seeds, about half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, because we are just going to flavor it on top. So we don't want you don't want the flavor of the cumin to take over the corn and the onions. Okay. Just slightly season it with some salt. So the onions soften and they caramelize and we get this lovely flavor inside. So this filling really doesn't take much time and it can be done in a jiffy. So now we add the corn, beautiful yellow corn here. And just give it a quick stir, just to coat the corn and onion evenly together. And I can tell you this room is already full with some fantastic flavors and aromas. It looks beautiful with the sunshine yellow and the little pink hue from the onion. It looks fabulous. So while that is sauteing, I'm just going to again season it with some salt. Going to put maybe a teaspoon of sugar, just to give that little added sweetness. Okay, now once this is done, you want to remove the pan from the heat immediately, because if you add the coconut inside this while it's on heat, it can char it and it can become really, really bad. So you want to remove the pan from the heat, get it here. Now just add some coriander to give it that lovely green color. And finally, the coconut, which gives that little moistness that you need when you bite into it. Now to just balance out the acidity, I'm going to balance out the flavors with just a little squish of lemon here. And a very easy filling is done. That's how simple it is. Now while this is cooling, we are just going to prepare a little all-purpose flour paste to seal our samosas so that when we really deep fry them in hot oil, they do not open up and all the filling comes out. So let's get to making the paste. To this bowl, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour into the bowl here. And about maybe 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of water just to slightly thin it out and make it into a nice paste. Yeah, and just stir it like this to make it a nice paste. You can add as much or as little as you think, just to make it little pliable so that you will be able to add it, just put it on the samosas. So we have our smooth and creamy paste ready. Okay, now before I set my filling, I'm just going to taste it because I always believe in tasting what I make. So just grab a spoon. I think it needs just a dash of salt. But it's tasting absolutely gorgeous. That's good. So give it a quick mix. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make these really simple samosas. Now here I have some samosa pattis. So what you can do is when you're working with them, just make sure that you cover them with some nice wet muslin cloth so that they do not dry out. And once you're done with them, make sure you seal the packet and put it in your freezer right away. They can stay in the freezer for about 3 months, which is a long time. And you can make them and bring them out and make them whenever you want. So this is a very, very simple samosa. I'm just going to take a couple of the strips out for you just to show you. So this is what we are looking at. Just hold the samosa patti in your hand like this. Now I'm going to show you how to make the triangle that we want so that you can seal it. So just turn it like this and then turn it back to make a nice cone over here. Then I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of this yummy corn filling inside. And just press it so that it kind of goes right to the bottom. Then we are going to turn it to seal it the first time. Now that's when we are going to use our little paste here to seal the edges once again. Now just close it and just tuck in the last bit of the edge inside so it looks clean and gorgeous. And that's how simple it is. So you can make about, with this filling, you can make about 8 to 10 samosas, and then you can, increase as much as you want to make. So, it's very simple to make. What you can do is you can make these a day ahead of time and deep freeze it, and when you're ready for your party or for that very, very important festive or traditional meal that I said you could use these for. So you could just bring them out of the freezer for about an hour or 2 and then just fry them in oil and they're good to go. And these samosa patties are really very versatile. You know, you can make so many things of it. So you can always store these in your refrigerator, you know, for that little extra special thing that you want to make. And you know, I have made about 100 of these for one of my parties, and everybody just loved them so much that they were soon enough they called me and they wanted all the recipes and things like that. So it's a surefire hit all the time. Okay, so while I'm making all my samosas and I'm going to get my oil in the frying pan and get it started so that it really heats up when all my samosas are done and we can start frying them immediately. So I just cannot wait to try them. So now I've prepared my samosas and they're ready to be dropped in hot oil. Now the best way to see that the oil has reached the right temperature, which is about 175 degrees centigrade, is just maybe take a little chip of your samosa patti and just drop it in oil. So once it immediately comes up and when it starts bubbling, you know that the oil is hot enough to fry our samosas. So we'll just wait a couple of minutes more so that it reaches the right temperature. So that when we fry these samosas, the oil is not that hot or it's not that less hot, because if it's too hot, it's going to brown immediately, and if it's not that hot, it's not going to take the right temperature and it's going to become very soggy. So that's why the temperature of the oil is very important. So let's check it one more time. Yes. So now that the oil is all hot and ready, we are going to drop in our samosas slowly, maybe one or two at a time. Now you don't want to fry too many at a time, because of that the temperature of the oil can drop and that's when it can get soggy. So just deep fry them on both sides till they are nice and golden brown. And these guys don't take time at all. They are very, very fast. So you have to keep a watch them and keep them turning. Now generally all my guests just love it just like that, but you can always serve it with some green chutney or some sweet imli chutney. They go well with anything. Make sure they're nice and golden on both sides. So that's when we know that they're ready. So this guy is done. I'm going to drain it here. Also, these samosas travel really well. So, I suggest all you ladies, you can make them beforehand, and maybe for like a kitty party or anything, you can carry them with you and then fry it over there. So it's a great to go snack as well. And I'm sure all you fabulous ladies will love it out there. So if you see, it really doesn't take much time at all. It's very quick. And you can see the beautiful golden hue that they've got. They look just perfect. So there we go, our beautiful corn samosas all ready to be devoured. I hope you enjoyed watching me as much as I enjoyed making them for you. So stay healthy, stay happy, and keep watching me, Maithily, your show host on India Food Network. Please leave me any messages, any comments, and I'll be happy to help you out. So till then, take care and see you next time.